What I mentioned before, when you're older, your muscles take longer to warm up. If you're muscular like Emmit, your muscles take longer to warm up. The front team has just finished a semi-final game about 10 minutes ago. Some might think that that's a disadvantage, but they ran through Paul Pravidi and Eddie Golden so rapidly that they actually conserved their energy and are now practically in physical peak to do their best. Remember that they play very well as partners. They know each other's thoughts. Billy with the long hair is always alert even though he's not hitting the ball. He keeps the ball in play, makes very few errors. Sostre, when the moment arises, can go for the shot and put it away. He's already rolled one out, and the score is 3-2. But as I mentioned, it's a 25-point game. It's a long way to go. Buddy and Emmit will be warming up, and possibly Sostre and Billy may tire at the third quarter of this game.
Don't get too warm, Billy. You know
a lot can happen here. A lot can happen. Sostre, I'm really amazed that he went for the shot. He had another pair shot through the middle, which he did so well against Golden and Pravidi. Wow, that was a beautiful move by Emmit. He took advantage of a soft return by Billy, and he just stiff-armed it straight ahead with his opposite hand for a rollout. But Billy should try and concentrate as if he does get the shot. He should try and lift the ball with off speed. What's the timeout? If he goes home to shut the water in his bathroom, are we going to get a replacement? Okay, it's broom service at the old corral here. The horses have come and gone, and now it's time to remove the manure. What happens here is when we get these high wind days, since we're in close proximity to the beach, very fine particles of sand make their way onto the court. And sometimes it's not seen by the naked eye, but on a really hot day, the ball gets a little wet, it hits that sand, and it starts going off like a rocket. I think one of the players probably complained about poor footing in the back court. That's why they're removing the particles of sand. As he brushes it, you can see the accumulation there. I think more important, he should use the broom to remove all the people on the fence, because I think later on, as this game progresses, they're going to be moving into those people, and then they're going to have to call a time. Somebody may get injured, and the whole move of the game will be compromised. The same is true for the people sitting along the left line and on the right line. What they're doing now is playing conservatively in the middle, getting a feeling out, but ultimately Emmit is going to start moving the ball at very strong angles. Robert Sostre is going to move the ball at strong angles, and these players are going to wind up in the face of the crowd. It really shouldn't happen, but it will. You can see the difference between this foursome and the foursome before. They're not only moving the ball at a fast pace, but they're also jockeying for position at the same time. That's one level higher than the last two games that we saw. The shot that Emmit just hit is reminiscent of Richie Spataro and Eddie Frangione. Frangione, a lefty, would play on this side over here, on the right side. As Spataro hit the ball hard cross court, Frangione had the ability to watch the ball and be in position so it would move right by his body so his opponent couldn't see it. The timing was impeccable. That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now you might ask the question, why is Emmit being able to hit the ball? Why isn't the ball being moved away from him? The ball, that shot was returned by Sostre to Emmit. That shot was returned by Billy to Emmit. You know why? Because they're trying not to make mistakes and hit it up the middle.
I can't figure out their strategy at all.
Well, there is no strategy at this juncture. It's a 25-point game. They'll figure it out at about the 7th or 8th point. And then you're going to see the change of speed, especially by Sostre. When Billy is on the inside here, blocking out Buddy, and Emmit is putting the ball to him, Billy has enough control to spin the ball over Buddy's head. That will make Emmit get a little bit excited about having to play that shot, and you can cause dissension in the ranks.
Yeah, we kind of assumed they would try lifts, half-speed shots.
Buddy is doing beautifully, even being on this side. He punched that ball right to the long line to the center. He pushed both players back. That allowed Emmit to come in. That's a classic doubles play. Billy correctly just moved the ball back with a little bit of spin. Had he powered it back, Buddy would have powered it. But the change of speed just got Buddy off balance by a tiny bit. There's a lucky shot by Robert Sostre. He's the most surprised guy in the place. But now Billy's going to push the ball to the long line. Sostre should come in, take it off the wall, and drop it in front of Billy. But he hasn't done that yet. They're still filling each other out. They'll get in the groove here. The score is totally meaningless at this juncture. That's beautiful. Just beautiful by Emmit. Now Emmit knows he has a slight lead. He's going to go for the kill. But as they put pressure on that team, he's going to start missing. Look at Buddy. Buddy is the consummate money player. He knows he's on the underside here. He knows he's not supposed to be doing anything, but he punches that ball with such ferocity on the serve. He keeps the team off balance. He should not have gone for that kill shot, however. The only man who should be killing is Emmit. Buddy should continue to keep the ball in play, not make mistakes, pound the ball to keep the other team off balance. That's what he's doing there. Okay, you see how important it is to get in the front, to get your opponent behind you so he, for a fraction of a second, can't see that ball? The team up front, if they use their position correctly, should be able to score. Buddy is supposed to push the ball to the long line, come to the wall. Billy's supposed to move on. Sostre is supposed to drop the ball in front of Billy. He hasn't done that. He's supposed to do it on the return to serve. He's still playing his usual conservative game. When he gets into trouble, you'll be seeing him doing that more. Unfortunately, when the back team gets more points, they'll be doing more to add to their lead. I'm really surprised that Emmit has started out so strongly. He usually takes about 8 points to get into the groove. He usually misses a lot at the beginning. He's a big guy, very muscular. They had a cool down from the other semifinal match, but he's done very well. Buddy has helped him a lot by punching that ball on the serve to the long line. But I get the feeling that with Emmit starting out this strong, about the middle of the game, I think he's going to start to let up a little. And that's where Sostre and Billy may come back. Score 8-5. Look at Buddy punching that ball. They had such an easy time in their semis in the other round, in the other bracket, but he's got all this pent-up power. You notice he punches the first ball right to the long line, and then the second he hits short. Score 9-5. That's a mistake by Emmit putting the ball over there. He should keep the ball in the middle because he was getting front court position and top line. That's good. You know, that's going to look great to the crowd, but that may be his undoing. That is a very chancy shot to take now. If you're trying to establish a game plan, you see he misses the next one. The theatrics were beautiful. He made a beautiful shot. I think it was the wrong shot at that time. This game is a long way to go, and to try and be theatrical at this juncture lets the other team know that they've got a big shot in this game. But the crowd loved it. Unfortunately, he missed the next play. They got to keep working on Buddy. They got to keep him busy. They got to keep the ball away from Emmit so he gets hungry for it. It's one thing to say to keep the ball to Buddy. It's another thing to do it. But that should be the game plan. Now, I think Emmit was a little embarrassed after he made that great kill shot. He missed the very next shot. If they keep working over Buddy and keep boxing him in this left side, he's going to be trapped over here on this right side. And then Emmit is going to think he's going to, just like Durso, he thinks he's going to have to take more of the shots. He's going to wind up getting more and more tired, and he's going to wind up making poor shots. That little dump shot he made for the kill was a very poor shot, even though he made it. That's the type of playing he should do. Emmit correctly pounded the ball through the middle, and Robert missed. They should keep that strategy going because they have the lead. There's no need to go for any fancy shots. No need at all. Okay, Robert drilled one in there. Emmit, I think, started out too fast. I think he's going to look for a little break because he believes he has the lead. You see how he lofted that ball back easy? he was powdering everything at 90 miles an hour. Now there's a little subtle change in the way he's returning the ball. See that? Before he was the king of the hill, moving everything. He got away with that one. The crowd was there. Billy should have insisted on the block. He's not insisting on the block. The crowd is not moving back. I told you this would happen. Billy should insist on a replay of that move. He had definitely had a replay. They should also move the people back on the other side. What about the other side? And the people at the back fence especially. You're backing up playing a shot. The corner of your eye catches people behind you. You don't want to step, you know they're there, you miss your shot. And it's going to count against you. It's no good. Now they wait until the problem happens. See, they waited for this problem. They'll wait for the backcourt problem. Makes no sense. You shouldn't have given them that extra room after. You notice the crowd went back and he hit it out? When they were close there, he didn't hit it out. Oh, that was a beauty. Emmit hit the right shot. He had an option for going to the corner, which he usually does. He correctly played it right up the middle and handcuffed both Billy and Robert. I think as this game goes on, also, as this game goes, that one was no good, was it? That hop, he missed the kill. As this game goes by, Buddy's power on the serve is going to diminish too. It's a 25-point game. They got to keep the ball away from Emmit to make him hungry, to make him reach. See that? He reached there. They must keep making it. See that? Now they're, oh shoot. They were on the right. They were on the right track there. Still an early game. There's no problem as yet. Nothing has really happened yet. Nothing at all. If the back team gets out, the front team scores a minimum of 3 points and controls them and gets them out again, they're still in this game. The score is meaningless. They must hold here. And even if they score a minimum of 3 the next time up, they're still in the game. See that? They held them. Now, if they score a minimum of 3, they're really in this game. Because I think Buddy's serve is going to diminish, and I think Emmit is going to get a little tired. See what happens? You're a great player. You're a great right side player. I see you here. You know this stuff. I would put you in there with Rob.
Oh, yeah.
You see that shot by Buddy? He lowered it, nothing really happened. You see that shot by Emmit? He's not powdering the ball at 80 miles an hour as he did before. The reason he got away with that was precisely he let up on the ball and spun it as he hit it with less power. Billy was used to the power. So Emmit, I don't know if he did it intentionally or not, he got away with it.
Look at that.
There's definitely a trend that I see here. There's definitely a trend. The intensity with which Emmit started off the game, as I said before, I think he started too fast. He got the lead, he let up, he went for that cute kill, missed the next one, and now the game is actually changing, even though they have the lead. You can actually sense it.
On the other hand, Rudy, I don't get the feeling that the serving team has the ability to run off about 8 shots. I did get that
8 shots? No. Neither team theoretically could be able to run off 8 points. Never. This is too high a level for play. The team on the losing side of the point score will ultimately do something. That was okay. Even though we went for it, I think it was the right shot. I wouldn't want of them to have done that. And I don't think it was proper. But for his mind, had he made it, it would have been a pretty good thing. In the overview of the game, he should not have done that. The man on the right is the supporting player, does not go for the shot, supports his partner, pushing his opponents back until his partner is able to take the shot. The only problem now is Robert Sostre, the shot maker, has not been taking any shots. He's still feeling his way into this game, and that's destructive to the back team. But Robert Sostre is such a great player, in my judgment, that if this game goes a few more points, he will go to the attack, will go for the kill shots. Whether or not Emmit and Buddy can block him out and foil his attempt, that's another thing. If they just can hold his front team, I think Buddy is going to let up. I think Emmit is going to lose some of that charisma and shot-making ability. I really, truly believe that. Billy correctly tried to get Robert Sostre motivated. Sostre should be doing the same thing for Billy. He should be cheering him on. but he tends to lapse into a hole. He did the same thing in the Nationals with Al Torres. He wasn't up to the task. The thing got a little tough. He's got to cheer his partner on. He's got to do everything he can to help him. Even though Emmit missed that shot, by going for the shot, he's still a driving force.
How come he's so fucking winning?
He might have missed.
Is it a block or what?
No, they've had a long season of confrontation. He really doesn't mean what the words mean. He's just trying to get his own adrenaline up. He has too much respect for Emmit and vice versa. He really doesn't mean what the words sounded like. And that's why Emmit put the ball back to Billy. You know what I mean? I think Billy got him excited so he'd make him hit the ball to him. He certainly got his adrenaline up. Now you might ask the question, is it going to be too little too late? Or is there even going to be too little at all?
I've got a question. Do you like to play with your adrenaline up, or do you like to play relaxed?
Depends on the player. Some players play very powerfully when they get excited and vociferous. Other players are always cool. Sostre is always cool. Billy, his partner, has to yell in order to get up to the task. That ball's skidded. Even though the ball's skidded, it has nothing to do with anything. The only time they're going to stop play is on the serve if it skids. During the volley, it's tough beans.
Nice serve, huh?
They're going to have to take the initiative. They cannot survive on this type of play. Ultimately, Emmit will find the opening, go for the shot. Look where Robert Sostre is. He's behind Emmit. You can't see the ball behind Emmit. Look where Buddy is. He's in front of Billy. Oh, that was a beauty. The only thing that point will serve to do is try to energize Robert Sostre, but Robert Sostre does not get energized by shots like that. Robert has to do everything on his own. He's that type of player who has to focus only on his own self. He wants to be a good team player, but you can notice by the look in his eye, the shot selection, he's only thinking about what he's doing. He hasn't for a moment put the ball in front of Billy as a pick. See, he's playing singles against Emmit, he's pounding the ball. At this moment, they're supposed to be going for decisive shots because they'll be killed by Emmit, who's controlling the front. See that? He's playing him a singles game, and he's playing it incorrectly. They're supposed to be working over Buddy, tiring him out until Lisa comes, and then they take advantage of him. Look at Buddy just drifting around back there, having fun. He's in front of Billy, and nothing came out of that long volley. You know what happened there? The only thing that happened there was the front team not only used up energy, but emotional and concentration power. And the back team lost exactly nothing. They're in the groove. They're feeling the Clinton Gore high, and they are leaving this Democratic convention as front runners. And that's why that last volley, even though it went long and it stopped because of a block, the front team actually lost ground on it. They did precisely nothing. And Robert continues to play Emmit singles for whatever reason. I haven't the foggiest notion. He must use Billy as a pick, step back, and drop the ball in front of Billy. He has the ability to kill. Why isn't he doing it? They're playing exactly the way those guys want it. Look at that. He had another shot in front over here. Billy was in front. No. Billy was again in front of Buddy. And Robert just tired. He just moved the ball. The last play took his energy away.
17 minutes?
Yeah.
I don't think they have an aggressive strategy to deal with.
Robert Sostre is the key to the back team. He's doing exactly nothing. And the only two times he scored was when he dropped it with his left hand, and I don't even think it was intentional. He just wanted to lower it, and he got away with a low shot. Okay, it looks like Emmit looks like he's ready for round two. He took a little breather there, just moving the backswing. He called the backswing. I think it was a backswing. It was a backswing. No, it was a backstop. It was fast enough for the way the ball was hit.
That's a block ball.
It was fast enough for how fast the ball was hit. That's why it made it. It wasn't a late call. The ball was moving rapidly. He moved his hand back and he called it reasonably well. 17-9. This is the part of the game where Emmit sometimes makes a very critical mistake. Luckily, Buddy ended the volley. At this point, Emmit gets a look in his eye like he's going to go back to the theatrics. He loves the crowd, and rightfully so. He's a wonderful player. That was more a little side front swing. The way it looked like this. I think that was to make up for the other play. You see, at this point of the game, in handball theory, the back team is supposed to take a timeout to stop the forward momentum of the front team. But in this case, nothing will really happen. It'll only give the front team more focus to come back on the court and do a bigger number. These guys are the ultimate professionals. They bet throughout the season. This is a big money tournament. These guys are used to it. So calling a timeout can't actually do anything. They will just step off the court, take the time, come back, and do exactly what they're doing again. That was a skid ball. He gets away with it. In the volley, he gets away with it. Got it. In the volley it is, not on the serve. He's got to dry his arms. His arms are definitely wet. The water is running down. If the volley goes for 3 or 4 shots, the water definitely gets to his palms. It's not his hands. He's got to do his arms. He must do his arm. You notice how he's only there? He's doing one arm. Let's see if he does his other. He didn't do his left arm. And that water will run down into his hand. He'll take the ball in his left hand to serve like that. The ball will now get a little more of a little veneer of moisture, and he's got another semi-skid ball for the serve. If the ball goes 2 or 3 shots in the, see it wet? It's wet because he didn't wipe his left arm. And that's where the water drips down. He'll probably wipe his right arm. No, see, he's only doing his left hand. He's doing his forearm. All right, he finally did his touch. But you notice the gleam on his right arm? He's got to do that. He's got to do under the arm, a little of the shoulder. That's it. Too many people know this stuff now. Okay. Unfortunately, they have a big lead. All this should have been taken care of before. But now we have a whole new round. For some reason, it's 2-on-1 against Emmit with a big lead. Why they're doing that, I haven't the foggiest notion. Is it because they don't have the skill to back up, to hit the ball high, spin it shoulder high, get him to the back, move the ball over his head a little bit, so he'd have to use his overhand shot? Every time Emmit is hitting the ball, it's his groove shot. He comes forward and like a cannon, just like that, they give him the same shot. It's a wonderful way to win a game. They should have been playing Buddy the whole time. They would have weakened him, and they might have come back. Look at that. It goes back to Emmit again. Why he wants to play him singles, I haven't the foggiest notion. He may have won the serve, but he hasn't won anything close to coming back in this game. He's playing entirely the wrong game. I don't mind him serving to Emmit to keep him in the back. That's okay, because if you serve Buddy, then Emmit comes forward. We have some wonderful people on the boardwalk who see a crowd and love to just play the music to say, here I am. That was a left-hand kill shot, believe it or not. A very low percentage shot. Bad shot. Bad shot. That's the shot. He should have been doing that a lot. Keep the ball away from him. That's it.
Come on, baby!
You push the ball high, you get him to the back, and then you attack. He hasn't made one shot on the return to serve where Billy steps on and he puts it in front of Billy. Not one shot. Let's give him a little round of applause here. A little round of applause. All right. That was the first overhand Robert hit, but it should have been with less pace. You see that? How you upset the timing of the players?
You take that motherfucker.
That's how you upset the timing of the players. Change the speed of the ball, make them hit overhand. Keep Emmit aware that he's got to keep wiping. If he has to concentrate on wiping himself, he can't function, he can't focus. Got a long call. I don't know who called it long. That's it. See what happens?
Yes.
You change the speed of the ball, and he becomes a wholly different player. Now, this is the worst thing they can do.
13-20.
To switch sides at this juncture is the worst possible thing they can do. Because now if the ball goes over to Emmit, he's going to overswing from this side. And Buddy hasn't really been in the game in order to function over there. Oh, I don't believe it.
Don't worry about it.
Don't believe it.
Let's go. 13-20.
Wow, did you see that? Oh boy. That's it. Just keep the ball in the middle. That's it. Try and change the speed of the ball a little. If they score 3 points now, then they'll want to score.
3 points. I want $70.
Oh, well, let's get those 3 points. I'm sorry. Let's get those 3 points.
Oh.
I want to make you a winner of the game. So you can say you bet on the right team.
Are you betting that they
Score 17. 17. 17 points.
And if they score 15,
That was a bad move they made by switching sides, I'll tell you that. Very bad move.
well, I think they felt Emmett was not executing.
Hey, that's beside the point. I would have taken the timeout and then bounced back with more ferocity. See the game they're playing now? That's the game they should have been playing all along. Beautiful get. A marvelous shot by Billy. Oh, great shot. Billy made a really great shot return. But Buddy was waiting like a vulture and a prowler and a poacher, and he knocked the ball back into the right corner.
You know, every time they play it low, they get killed. I mean, essentially, they play the very passive game and have to hope that the other team isn't going to
Okay, they
execute.
switched back. They gave Emmit a little bit of a breather. Now let's see if they make it a singles game again between Robert. That was the right shot. Don't worry about it, Bill. That was the right shot. If he would have gotten away with that, and then another down and stabilize him, he could turn the whole game
Scores
around.
14.
You see, he wipes his hands again, and his shoulders and his arms are still wet. These guys in the back, they don't know what they're doing. By the time he comes back, the water is in his palm again. It's unbelievable. A simple little thing like that. Amazing. And they should keep making him wipe it. They get his timing off, and then make him think about wiping instead of playing. Don't lower it, Billy. Look at how beautiful, how Buddy put that ball right in the front. Emmit took a classic position, 1 foot in front of the other, kept Sostre behind him, moved his hand forward, his left hand forward in a straight line like a pendulum shot, and placed it perfectly down in that left corner. A classic shot and a beauty. He didn't overswing, he just took his time, he knew he had the lead, and he played it perfectly. Buddy came back with a bombastic serve again. Total power, right to the long line between the guys in the back. I think he usually goes for a short serve, a little from where he's standing to the middle toward the left. But with the lead, he may decide just to put it up and play.
22-14.
Yeah, he's just putting it in play. The thing that blows my mind here is that they have not played Buddy. They're still playing Emmit, and he keeps looking for the shots. He's confident. He has the lead. The score 23-14. The key to this game is really Buddy, pounding that ball on the serve, keeping it at the long line, and that gives Emmit the chance to be a superstar. But I fault the other team for not playing Buddy. I don't care how you do it. Back up, let the ball die. I don't care how you do it. You back up and you just make sure that ball goes over the buddy. He can't hurt you. He keeps Emmit out of the play. It makes him hungry, and the key would have been theirs. But Robert is totally at fault in not my judgment in this game. He hasn't the foggiest notion of what to do. Look at that, every ball back to Emmit. That's it, that was a fine lift. Look at this, back to Emmit again. What did you expect him to do? He rolled it out, 25-14, and a great match. We'll get Emmit and Buddy over here for a few seconds. I wanted to get on the wall there.